Hi everybody, this is Terry with Sweet Pea Papers, the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, and Junk Journal and Papercrafts Facebook group, and the Sweet Pea Papers Ko-fi shop. Now today we are here with my LineDotArrow design team project for November of 2024, and it's Steampunk Your Art. And we'll be using Steampunk Kit number 4, but the kits for this month are Steampunk Kit number 4 and Steampunk Kit number 5. My spare printer printed that out really dark. It doesn't really look like that. I may print out some of the collage pages from number 5 and end up using both kits. I'm not really sure yet. Excuse my phone. Yeah, so there's a flip through of the kits, and the first week challenge at the LineDotArrow YouTube channel, and that will be the first Saturday of the month of November. And this is coming out the second week, or second and third part of the third week, I believe. And so you're probably on your second challenge by now. Challenges are videos that Natalie puts up on Saturdays at the LineDotArrow YouTube channel, and it's just something to show you what you can do with the challenge papers that she puts out every week. The challenge papers are free if you're a member of the LineDotArrow Junk Journal group, Facebook group, and you can also get them for a small fee at her Ko-fi shop. All the links to everything I mentioned will be below, and you can just click your little heart away and check everything out. There's actually only two main links. One of them is the Linktree link to all of Natalie's places, her Etsy and YouTube and all that, and Facebook group. And that's where you can get the kits, Steampunk Kit number 4 and number 5, and they'll be on a discount this month. Let's see what else. Oh, there's 5 Facebook groups participating in the challenge this month, and that's going to be the LineDotArrow Junk Journal group and the TwoSisterJam Facebook group, and the 3 groups of mine that I just mentioned. At the end of the month, there'll be a drawing in each group, and to enter the drawing, all you have to do is post pictures of your projects using either the freebies or the kits, or both kits. If you use just the kits, you get 2 entries into the drawing for each post, not each picture, but each post. If you use the kits and the freebies, you get 2 entries into the drawing. If you use just one or just the freebies, you get 1 entry into the drawing for every post. So I think that covers everything in general. Every week on Saturdays, on the challenge videos that Natalie publishes, she goes ahead and goes in depth into the drawings and such. Okay, so this is video 2 in our Steampunk Your Art series, and in video 1 we cut everything out, and it was way too big. So fortunately I had enough room that I cut the tabs off and a little bit more, and then recut the tabs and made it smaller to make it fit. Remember when I had said, oh, I want extra to show my inking and my stenciling and all that, which I didn't stencil, as you can tell, and I'll tell you what I did in just a second. And all that jazz. Well, that was just, it ended up too big. The page was just too small, and it was lost in everything. Then I decided not to stencil. I decided to kind of steampunk up the paper. One thing I want you to know is that the manila folder soaks up water a lot, so you have to keep respraying your ink. So what I did was I took an ink pad, I did the black soot, wait a minute, here they are. Black soot, spiced marmalade, that gave me this rust color, and gathered twigs, which gave me this brown rusty color, and then the black. And then what I did was I took the ink pad and I smeared it around on my glass surface, and I sprayed it with water, and then I just kind of tapped the paper on the ink like so around. And of course that gets the whole thing, but we'll only see the edges. And I did that everywhere except for on that part right there. We're going to cover it with paper anyway, but in fact it may be glued down. I think it's this one we're going to have to cover with paper. So I did that on all of them, and then I also inked the edges in black. So let's go ahead. We're going to keep the black soot out. We're going to keep the other two out too, but they're just going to be set to the side. I've got my my plastic container full of steampunk stuff. And I've got a couple of bags of cogs and gears and such that I've gotten out of that. We've got this, and then I've got the papers for pages 1 through 4 or 1 through 5 plus 13, which we have to put on before we can put this part on the back. Got it? Okay. So we have to paper this before we can put this on. So this is what I decided to put on the front here. So we need to do that, but we need to do this first because we're going to glue this piece onto here. We need to have the paper down first to do that. So let's, and I had to rewrite everything in ink because I couldn't see my pencil anymore. Okay, so let's do this one. I think it fits on there without any muss or fuss. I'm wondering if I want to round this bottom corner. It isn't that close to the rounded corner, so I didn't realize, or I would have inked it, that I was just going to glue it down. Well, I got a date. If you're watching this in November during the Steampunk Your Art event, I have to have ulnar surgery on the nerve right there, funny bone nerve in your elbow on my right arm, and they've got it scheduled for January 3rd of 2025. Yay. Can't wait to get it done. My fingers are all, you know, curled up and stuff, so we're hoping to get some of that back. Don't know for sure, but hoping to get some feeling back in my hand. It's kind of weird doing all this with numb fingers. Oh, I dragged one of my sweatshirts through the glue once. Let me pull my sleeves up. Since it's Fabri-Tac, it's fabric glue, and there was no way to get it off the shirt, sweatshirt. So now I have a little bit of glue on one of my sleeves of one of my new sweatshirts, so I'm real excited about that. Okay, let me get this straight. We've got some, you know, little cogs and stuff. I'm not sure. Shoot. How was I going to do that with the magnets? I should have left this off. glued the other stuff to the paper, put the magnet on the back, and then glued it down. I mean, I can pull it up, but then I'll have to wait for the glue to dry. Set this to the side. I wasn't even thinking. Alright, we'll wait for the glue to dry on this, and we'll paper the other ones instead while we're waiting. And that'll work. It'll be alright. I will fix it. So what we're going to do is pages 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's do this one. Now I want to get both of these on here. So I'm going to kind of put this like this so they're in the places where they should be if this was a real opening book. It's too bad we're not going to get all of this and all of that. I'd like to get at least part on top and bottom so it looks even. Doesn't look like that's going to work. So since the way we cut the manila folder, it looks like on most of them we won't have to adjust the width unless we're using a big piece, you know, backing paper instead of one of these little half papers. I cut the page in half is how I came up with this size. I've got my big paper trimmer, so it's off camera. Let's see how we did. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be all right. Grunge it up a little bit. Hopefully we'll have time to get most of this done. Having a big collaboration. Natalie and I are hosting it for December. So I'm doing 4 big projects this month. So we've only got 6 days for this one, which is 6 videos. I wish I had gotten more stuff along the edge, but where the gusset is on the side, it's really hard to get the inking because of the ridges. Okay, and I'm going to come back and put something on there. I'm going to need a magnet here to hold this down. Oh, my stomach's growling. I guess I should have fed the beast first. Now remember, we've got the tab, so our paper's going to be back a little bit from the edge. Darn it. There we go. So we're going to need our magnet to be a little farther back, or, you know, back that way. Okay. I want to get the top of this one in. And I'm not sure if the magnet's going to hold because of I want to put some metal in here, and so I think that's not gonna work. But we might have to break out the black hook and loop fasteners. They're not Velcro, so we can't call them that. Not the Velcro brand. I think what I'll do is put a magnet on here that hooks to this one, and then have that magnet attached to the back of the paper, so they kind of piggyback on top of each other. I'm just worried that the thickness of what we're going to put on is going to keep it from being the magnet from being able to attach. So I'm thinking we're going to have to Velcro dot it. I mean, hook and loop it. Okay. I'm going to attach it with the ink. I've got my aged keys. I think I got them on Temu. I'm not sure though. You guys will have to keep your eyes out. I'm doing a review of some colored pencils, and the company was nice enough to send me a coloring book along with it, so we'll test it out in their book, the blending and such. Looking forward to it. I forgot to ask if they were soft core pencils or hardcore. Hardcore are like regular pencils, like what you would write with. Soft core are more like crayons. I prefer the soft core, but I can do either one. Works for me. Okay, put the paper on here. And then we're going to come back and do all our stuff. Or some of it anyway. So I want this writing to be there, and we'll see some of the stitching. And then, so on this particular one, we're going to have to do the height as well as the width. This one's shorter. That. Do that. That way we've got somewhere to write. Yeah, I think we're gonna just go with the hook and loop. Should have put my phone in the living room. It's really loud though, even when I turn the volume down. The notifications still come through loud. It's just the audio for like ringing or the alarms that turning the volume down makes a difference. Oops, let's put it back here where it belongs. So we'll still get to see quite a bit. I'm putting it a little bit in from where the rounded corners start. If you remember, I told you to round the corners that were not tabs. So you don't want to round your tab, of course, but you do want to round the other corners. You don't want them to be just square. Okay, all we have to do is this one. Now this one, this is going to be glued down here. So this one's going to be like this. Oh, so we didn't have to do that with that paper. We could have just glued it down. Let's see. I want to get as much of this image as I can. A nice noise from my paper trimmer, wasn't it? I knew there was something over here I wanted to do. And when you're doing that inking, you want to use your glass surface, and then you can just spray it with water and wipe it right up with a paper towel to clean up. It's a good deal. What I did was also I put the marmalade here, the brown here, and the black here, and I had them all ready to go. And then I just dunked, and then I dunked here, and I dunked there. It was like a little assembly line, and it made it go quicker. My friend Joy from Junk Journal with Joy, JJ with Joy, suggested that I do it that way. It was a very good tip from her. She has a really good YouTube channel. So lots of shorts. Well, not shorts, but shorter videos. Mine are longer videos. She makes longer ones when she makes her bigger journals. She calls some her ephemera eaters. Those are pretty good. They're made out of cloth. I mean material, whatever. And they have flips and flaps and stuff, and it's all made out of material. They're pretty cool looking. It's over at JJ with Joy on YouTube. Okay. Why is that not on a stick there? Now let's glue this back on there. Okay, now we're going to take this, and it looks like it's this way, but really it goes this way. And we're going to glue this down on here. And we're going to do it right here. We're not going to glue this on as a pocket. What we're going to do is glue it on as a 4-page flip up. So it's kind of like a sideways waterfall made out of manila folder. And that makes this stick out a little farther than that, and that's exactly what I want. So then we're going to have this, this, that, and then this. Okay? So let's see what we've got. I want to put one of the keys here to make it look like a long door handle. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac to glue it down, but these are pretty big as far as, you know, thick and hefty, so I'm not sure. I may have to use something maybe E6000 or B7000. Those are your more serious glues. But Fabri-Tac is made to attach quite a few materials together. We can use a smaller key. This one is the smallest one in here. We'll put it right there. Center it between, you know, these two. All right, let's do that. You've glued all kinds of things on with Fabri-Tac. I probably should have done this last. Whoops. I think while we're waiting for that to dry, let's see if maybe we can put a couple of eyelets in, just randomly. That's all I have left. Some of them are mismatched, so that's all right. Okay, put it on the bigger hole setting. Okay. I might put a couple up there too. Yeah, see, that's already holding. Let's Oz. He's lost his ever-loving mind. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do something to hold these shut. I'm not sure what, but these are all heavy, thicker things. I have quite a few keys. These are all keys. I could have found a smaller one in here. I need to get some more stuff. those are the bigger, heavier ones. Oh, that's a cool clock. I'd like to put that on the cover. Can you see that? Pretty cool. Maybe we'll hang it from here. That would be kind of cool. All right, let's do that. Then we've got these random clock hands. I wonder if I could glue those onto here. I think if it's going to be thicker, I should put it up there because of the closing the, you know, you don't want to bind up this where it closes. Oh, we got to put a piece of paper right here. We may have to wait and come back when we have a longer scrap. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to come back and revisit that. We'll hang that up. We'll put that on there. Because I know Fabri-Tac will hold these little gears on. So that was why I was pretty sure it would hold that key on. The key's kind of heavy though, to keep our eye on it. Once I glue these on, before I go on to anywhere in here, we'll go ahead and put the rest of this together, except for this front part. We might be able to glue it on. Okay, so let's set this to the side and let it dry, and then we'll put the put this on as a charm. Let's get this out of the way. Well, you can't set it aside to dry because it's the front part of the whole thing, isn't it? Okay, now we're just going to glue. I have a little tear there, but I'm hoping when I glue this down, it'll fix it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue this area here to the edge of this here. Yeah, when I tore that, I was so mad. but the inking pretty much covers it up. I just want to make sure to get enough glue there to kind of hold it down. So then we're going to take this these may not all be exact anymore because I had to cut them separately and it was a big mess. I thought I was going to have to start over. I was upset. Okay, now before we put the back part on, we have to paper this before we can put this on. Okay. Then we're going to have to paper that one on the inside before we can glue that pocket together. This looks directional to me, may not to you, but to me it looks like this darker area here needs to be at the top. Some people might think, well, maybe that should be at the top. I don't know. This on. And it's okay that I pushed that up because we're going to be putting this other piece on as a pocket. All right, now to glue this on as a pocket, we're going to want to glue these three sides. And I put an X on it so I knew that that was where I was going to glue. Even though I inked it, I inked all the sides and I inked around the edges of all the sides. I could glue this on like I did the front one and make it the flaps, but I decided not to. I didn't want it to be repetitive. So we're going to put this on as a pocket with a flap on the front. So that gives us this. And And then we've got that big pocket right there. Okay, and then we got this, and this to work with. This one I probably will be able to use a magnet to hold it down because there's not the double layers. Okay, so now the only other thing we need to do, if we have time, and I didn't pick out a paper, did I? Let's see. I don't really want to cover up any of these images with that bottom pocket. You might recognize that one from the opening screen. And I did ask Natalie's permission before I wrote the words. I didn't write them on there. I did it with my computer at the beginning of the video where it says Steampunk Your Art, and it's on top of that image. Make sure if you're going to use it in video or do anything, never alter anything by the creator unless you ask them first. Tell them what you're going to do. Usually if it's print, they're going to say no. That's cool. Yeah, we've got some ephemera too that we could use in that front part. Ah. Aha, she says. Okay, now we're going to have to cut this one down. I think the height too. Let's ink it up. We'll glue it down and glue the pocket down, and then that'll be it for this video. I'll find a bulb pin and attach this to the cover. Probably with one of my little charms that says handmade. It's a little too wide. Okay, then we're going to glue this on as a pocket. So it's already attached on this side. So all we have to do is glue the bottom and up the side. I'm going to do the side first, and I'm going to glue it on not all the way to the edge, but right where the corner is, where this is rounded. And then across the bottom. We just flip it over, and it makes a pocket right here, and then we have the flap here. Forget to put the magnets on first. This is how you have to redo everything video. Okay, now we've got it. See, now that'll snap. Okay. And that's how you don't do it. Even though it ended up okay. Alright, and then see, we'll paper this, and that'll cover this big smear here where it kind of got into a puddle of water when I was doing the black. But this is fun to do. It is fun. Even though, you know, it was a bit tedious to do all of this. But, yeah, it was still fun. Yeah, see, that key's on there. And then we'll just take... Let's see, I don't have black, but I do have this color. There we go. Alright, well that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and I want to thank you for hanging out with me for the last 56 minutes. And like I said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.